welcome to another tutorial. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to work the single crochet stitch. So I've already started off with a chain. If you need help with a chain or a slip knot or anything, I have some videos, I'll link to those below, and I'll make a little card on the screen. But until then I've just chained 10 stitches, but it's not really, it doesn't matter how many stitches you want to chain, I'm just doing 10 for this video. So I've done my 10 stitches and now I'm going to do my turning stitch. Your turning chains can be a bit confusing at first. You might not really understand what they're for, but basically every time you finish a row you chain one, and that kind of works as a stitch that kind of sits upright next to your other stitches, and what that does is it stops your row from getting shorter and shorter, because if I did not chain that stitch and I just started working, the next row I worked would actually be 9 and the following row would be 8, 7, and you would basically get like a triangle. So you've got to chain an extra stitch, so I'm doing an 11th stitch so that when I work back this way I'll still have 10 stitches. The more you crochet the more it'll make sense, and different stitches require different turning chains, but for the single crochet it's just chain 1. So we're going to work into the second chain from the hook, because that first chain right there is the one we just chained. That's your turning stitch. So we're going to work into this one. The initial chain row that we're working into the foundation chain, we're just going to work into this top loop over here. So you insert your hook, you yarn over, and you grab it with your hook so that it's hooked over, and you need to keep some tension on this working yarn here. If I did not keep tension on here, it could sometimes be more difficult to pull the stitch through, and it could also mess with how tight or loose my tension is. So you want to have a bit of tension on here. You can also pull down a bit on your working, your actual work. That will help open up the stitch to let the hook pass through. And so I've yarned over, pulled through the loop, and now we have 2 little loops on our hook. So we're going to yarn over again and we're going to pull through both of those loops. That is, in American terms, a single crochet. In the UK terms, that is a double crochet. We're going to do that again. So we're going into the next, this big one is the one we just worked into, so we're going to go into the next stitch over here, insert our hook, yarn over, oops, pull through one. Now we've got 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through these 2. Then we've worked a American single crochet, UK double crochet. So I'm just going to do all of these. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, now we've worked our whole row. Remember, we need to do our turning chain. I'm just closing up that slip knot in the beginning. We're going to do our turning chain. So we chain 1 to turn, and then we turn the work around so that we're working in the same, when you're right-handed, you're always working from the left-hand side to the right-hand side. So we've done our turning chain, so we're going to work, now that we're working into the body of the work, we're not working into that chain. You can see there are these little V's on the top. Those are 2 legs of 1 stitch. There's a back loop and a front loop. And some patterns will ask you to work into the back loop only, or the front loop only, or sort of alternating. But for the most part, we're just, if they just say a single crochet and they don't specify which loop, usually you're working under both. So you can see there's sort of a hole there, an indent. And if you put your hook under that, you'll see both of those loops are over the hook. So we've inserted, we've yarned over, we're pulling through one, and then we pull through both loops. I'll do that again. So we insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. And there we go, we're just working single crochet. And so if once you get to the end, you'll chain 1 and you'll just carry on in that same manner, busy working back and forth in your single crochet.